All right, so for week 27, we'll start out the week with some new vocabulary. List 8. We'll have our last couple of quizzes. So Monday, we'll take the chapter 16 quiz. Tuesday, I'll read the epilogue and postscript with 8A group. And Wednesday will be that final quiz. Now, Thursday and Friday are going to be devoted to dealing with this piece here, The Other America. So hopefully you aren't super sick of Martin Luther King Jr. because here's another one from him. So The Other America is a speech that was given by Martin Luther King Jr. In 1967. So this is after March on Washington, I Have a Dream, Birmingham Jail. This is after the Civil Rights Act and the Voting Rights Act have been passed. But he wasn't done. It wasn't just like, yay, we got a few nice laws passed and now the movement is over. He had a different focus. So he was starting to be much more vocal about the Vietnam War, widely regarded as, one of the poorest war decisions our country has made. He also focused a lot on poverty, in addition to the racial issues that he had already been addressing. So in this speech, and you can see a video version of it here if you would like to listen to it, but I have gone through and I have highlighted certain sections of the speech where I felt like he was making a particular point. So, don't skip over the other sections or anything, that it all ties together. But when I felt like he was making a particularly poignant, emphasis on something, I highlighted it in various pretty colors. So now the speech is a rainbow of social justice. And then at the bottom, I have asked you to analyze that portion of the speech as if it were a paragraph in a rhetorical analysis essay. So in the first sentence, you tell me the claim from that section. So kind of the author's purpose, in that moment that is being emphasized. Then you point out a rhetorical strategy. So this could be word choice. This could be something to do with sentence structure. It could be something to do with repetition or tone or, whatever you see in that section that makes it rhetorically effective. And you, of course, will work in some textual evidence to support your explanation. Make sure your textual evidence is concise, but effective and smoothly incorporated. Don't just take a big old chunk of text and slam it into your paragraph. That is not as sophisticated as smooth incorporation of textual evidence. So anyways, obviously this will take a minute. So Thursday we'll focus on kind of introducing the speech, listening to it, kind of getting an overall sense of what he's trying to convey. And then I'll be giving you, a pretty decent amount of time on Friday, which really the only thing we're taking care of Friday is the vocabulary quiz, to work on this and to develop each of these little paragraphs that you're writing. So, normally in a rhetorical analysis speech, you'd only be focusing on a few different points. Here you have a decent amount. So it's really more work than just one essay, which is why I'm trying to give you a pretty decent amount of time, and I haven't made it due until March 10th, just to make sure you have plenty of time to look at it in depth, find insights about the piece, and analyze it to your best ability. So that's that explanation. And now I'm going to go back and just talk about the vocabulary real quick, if you would like to hear a verbal explanation of vocabulary number 8. All right, so for list 8, the first word on here, teetotaler, describes an individual who does not drink alcohol. So when I was going to get married, my husband's grandmother actually mentioned that there were a number of teetotalers on her side of the family. That was the first time I think I'd ever heard that word used by a physical human being in a casual conversation, but an individual who chooses to abstain from alcohol. The second one, callow, describes someone young and inexperienced, has a connotation of being immature. It's not the nicest thing to call people if they are, not of an age where they are particularly young and inexperienced. So implying that someone is callow is implying that they're not quite acting their age. The third one, dross, describes trash, something worthless, something junky, something trivial and unimportant. The fourth one, delectable, describes something delicious. So hopefully over Christmas break, you guys were able to eat a number of delectable treats and cookies and whatnot. The fifth one, disconsolate, describes someone who is incredibly sad. So disconsolate, if you were to break it down, it means that this person is so upset they cannot be consoled, that they are absolutely inconsolable. The sixth one, verdant, describes something that is green with vegetation. By vegetation, I do mean plant life. So if you're looking at a garden, you might say, this is such a verdant garden, meaning that it is healthy and beautiful and lots of wonderful plants around and about. The seventh one, antiquated. I'm sure you can see the root word antique in there, describing something old-fashioned, something not used anymore. Kind of a connotation of it being worthless because it is so old. The eighth one, meet. This is an action to distribute, to pass out, and this could be, physically taking something and handing it out. It could also be used, you see it used a decent amount in the legal profession, as in the judge meted out justice, gave out something in a more symbolic sense. The ninth one, veracity, describes truth or reality. So something that is the situation as it stands. And the 10th one, indubitable, very fun to say, describes something that is undeniable. So people tend to get 9 and 10 mixed up because they both are, in a sense, describing something very similar. Truth, undeniable. It's pretty close, but just note that they're different parts of speech, so you would use them a different way in a sentence. So you might describe the veracity of a situation by saying that it is indubitable. So this one would be describing the situation, and this would be the truth that is in the situation. All right, I think that is all for this week.